Did grandma or grandpa ever give you one of these? I bet you've got one hidden in your underwear drawer, or maybe you carry one around in your wallet for good luck. If you do, you definitely want to watch this video because your $2 bill might be worth a heck of a lot more than $2. Hello everybody, Silver Picker here, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you which $2 bills are worth big bucks and which ones you're better off just spending. First off, $2 bills are not nearly as rare as you might think. Even though they're clearly the least popular denomination out there, they are in fact still in circulation and they still print them to this day. Yeah, you can actually walk into your bank and ask for $2 bills and more than likely they'll have as many as you want. And yes, later in the video we're going to talk about how you can turn that into a financial opportunity. So what about the value? That's what most of you are here for, right? I mean, come on, that's what you guys want to know. Well, most of them are of course just worth the $2 that's printed on them. But there are three things that can influence their value tremendously, and they are, of course, rarity, the serial number, and condition. So let's start with rarity. Rarity can be defined kind of in two ways. One is its initial print run, right? How many of the bill for that particular year or series was actually printed. And two is how many of that particular series remains in existence today, right? So let's say in the late 1800s, a $2 bill was printed a ton, but today, over 100 years later, there aren't that many still in existence. That bill would still be considered very rare. Pretty obvious, right? So obviously the rarity of a bill affects its value, but the serial number printed on that bill affects the value way more. So I actually did a full video on rare serial numbers, and you can check that out in the card over here if you want to do a deep dive, but for now I'll still go over some of the basics. So what makes a serial number rare, or fancy as we call it in the biz, is whether or not there's something interesting going on with the arrangement of the numbers. So super high serial numbers like 9999999 or super low serial numbers like 0000001, those are going to be worth a ton of money. Also, other notes like ladders, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or solids, where it's just a solid row of 7s or 1s or 5s, that's going to be worth a ton of money. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for anything like that, $2 bills or otherwise. And the third factor, of course, that goes into value is condition. And that's a pretty obvious one, right? Like this $2 bill, which is in pretty solid condition, is almost definitely going to be more valuable than this crumpled up one that's missing a corner. And just to give you a sense of what I mean when I say big bucks, let's take a look at some $2 bills that sold recently at auction and see what they sold for. This way you'll have a sense of what you would actually be able to get if you were to find these and flip them. This 2003 $2 bill with the ridiculously low serial number of 8, graded at 64 ppq by PCGS, sold at Heritage Auctions for $900, which is insane. But to give you a sense of how much age and rarity play into this, well, this $2 bill from 1976 has a very similar low serial number of 9, also graded out at a 64 by PMG, sold for over $2,000. That is absolutely bananas. Either way, I'd be jumping for joy if I found either of those bills out in the wild. As you can see, all things held equal, an older, rarer bill is going to be worth more than a newer one. But serial number trumps all if it's fancy enough. For example, this bill over here is from 2003. It's not that old, but because it has the ultimate low serial number of 1, yes, it's serial number 1, it sold for a ridiculous $21,600. Can you imagine finding that in your wallet? It is possible. How crazy is that? But aside from all of that, ultimately, condition is king. Yeah, this bill is valuable because it has the ridiculously low serial number of 1, but it's sold for over $20,000 because of its insane pristine condition. This thing got a grade by PMG of 65. Now, if you didn't realize, it's not graded out of 100. These bills are graded out of 70. So 65 is insanely good. Compare that bill to this one, which is also a 2003, but this one is a star note to boot. Now, if you don't know what star notes are, I did a whole video on it. You can check it out in the card over here, but it usually adds more value. So this is also a 2003, also a star note, Also, the elusive low serial number of 1, but this one only sold for $6,600 because it got a 30 as its grade. So you can see that going from 65 to 30 is a decrease of $15,000 in value. Now stay tuned, because later on in the video, I'm going to reveal how much the highest ever selling $2 bill on Heritage Auctions was. But for now, let me talk a little bit about how you can increase your odds of finding one of these super valuable bills out in circulation. And if you're enjoying this video and learning something from it, well, I make tons of other videos just like this teaching you all about how you can find rare bills out in the wild. So you best click on that big ol' red subscribe button and stay tuned for more. And while you're at it, do me the ultimate YouTube solid of clicking on that like button. You don't realize how much it actually helps me with so little effort on your side. All right, now back to business. Now, I bet a lot of you who are watching have already run off to your bedrooms to find that box of knickknacks or that drawer that you have those couple of $2 bills hiding in, but you've probably discovered that they're just regular old $2 bills from 2003 or 1976 with no fancy serial number. Well, you can up your odds of finding something valuable by engaging in what's one of the coolest parts of the numismatic hobby, which is called bank strap searching. And what that means is you can go into your bank, ask them for as many $2 bills as they have or you can afford, withdraw them, go home, look through them, search for the rare serial numbers, yoink out the good ones, and then you go back to your bank and redeposit everything else that's no good back into your account, effectively allowing you to buy rare $2 bills at face value, making this whole venture virtually risk-free. Or I guess you could get mugged on the way home or drop the whole thing down the sewer or any other number of things, but basically risk-free. If you do this consistently, you really do have pretty good odds of finding something valuable that you can flip for a profit. Now, if you actually do find one of these rare valuable bills while you're bank strap searching or maybe at the bottom of your underwear drawer, well, what do you do with it? Well, if you're watching this, you're already ahead of the game because you have me. Yeah, if you find a bill that you think is valuable, you can take a picture, send it to me via email at thesilverpicker@gmail.com, or you can post it on Instagram and tag me at thesilverpicker, and you should probably be following me there anyway because I post all sorts of awesome pictures on there. But you have me as a resource. I can take a look at it, and if it is valuable, I can help you come up with a strategy to sell it. But the short general version is that if you've got a $2 bill that's, say, worth less than $5, I would say don't even bother. But if it's worth, say, $6 to $250, throw that bad boy up on eBay, pay the eBay fees, and be done with it. You made yourself some money, and that's awesome. But if it's worth more than $250, I would say you go get it graded by a reputable grading company like PCGS or PMG, and then you sell it through one of the more reputable, prestigious numismatic auction houses. Now, I did promise that I would show you a ridiculously rare, highest selling ever $2 bill on Heritage Auctions, and this is it. This red seal $2 United States note from 1928 sold for a whopping $88,125 at auction. To put that into perspective, with that little $2 bill, you could buy 2 Tesla Model 3s and still have enough dough left over to buy a MacBook Pro, an iPhone, a jet ski, and a pair of Super Bowl tickets. What's really crazy though is we've just barely scratched the surface on this. We haven't even talked about things like printing errors, like this bill over here that sold for $18,000. But we're gonna leave that for another video. So if you enjoyed this video, I've got a lot more in this series all about different types of rare dollar bills that could be hiding in your wallet just waiting to make you rich. So check out all those videos. I've got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out. A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. I wouldn't even trade you guys for that 1928 $2 bill. If you are not yet a patron and would like to support my channel, the links are below, and then I'll see you in our private Discord server.